I welcome all my students here, and I would extend my formal welcome to Gopal Natarajan sir. Uh, Out of his busy schedule, he has agreed to take this session with the students, where he is going to share his experience, his expertise with respect to RBI. I'll give a brief introduction of sir, then I'll ask sir maybe to add on to that. So, sir has worked for more than 37 years. That's a long duration, wow, in Reserve Bank of India. And he has worked across various functions of RBI and its various centers: Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Chandigarh, Pune. 12 years he has worked as a banking supervisor, both under annual financial inspection and under risk based supervision. So, he has a lot of experience in inspection and supervision. 5 years as a trainer faculty at the College of Agriculture Engineering, Pune. So, as a trainer, he understands about the students' mindset, and as head of Urban Cooperative Banking Channel. With respect to education, sir has done BCom, CISA, ICMA, Inter, and he has done CAP certification and a lot of other certifications in the area of anti-money laundering, cyber crime, fraud management, information security. Some of the main positions that have been held by Sir: General Manager RBI, Bangalore Department of Banking Supervision. Then a very, I would say, uh, good position, RBI nominee director on the board of Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank from 2018 to 2022. And again, something very unique, you would see here, independent director at Capfront Technologies Limited, Bangalore. So, I mean, you can understand the role of independent director. Chief Operation Officer at Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, Bangalore. Consultant and advisor to CEO, Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, Bangalore. So, sir, that's a lot of time. Now, tell me something about your experience of working at RBI for such a long duration, how the journey has been.
Yeah, thank you, Anchit, for the nice introduction. Well, the journey has been great. I would say, in put in one word, I would say it has been a great journey for me. And the very fact that I have stuck onto the organization for 37 years should tell you that, it's a RBI is a very, very benevolent employer, gives you a lot of exposure across various financial sector activities. And I should say my journey has been excellent. And I would say I would assure all those participants aspiring to become a part of the RBI family would definitely not quit once they join. That is the kind of, benevolence in the organization. And that is the kind of, what do you call, energy that the organization brings to. Okay. It's been I mean, today, if you talk to any youngster, 37 years means something which is unthinkable for them. Okay. So that's how
Yes.
RBI is. I'm very sure that all of those who are aspiring to be officers, grade B officers in RBI would definitely continue, would not want to quit unless and until, of course, there is something else which attracts them more than this particular job. It's a premier institution as far as the banking regulation and supervisory role that it plays in India. Okay. So I should say that yes, it's been a great experience, and you people need not be disappointed for having aspired to join this particular organization.
That's true, sir. I mean, I can truly agree with you. Attrition rate in RBI is so low.
Mm.
If I compare it with the attrition rate in Indian IT
Yeah.
industry, I mean, I
Mm.
cannot. I mean, I have never worked, so I cannot imagine what would be the work culture here. So my next question is, sir, how is the work culture and how is the work-life balance at RBI? I mean, work culture. I mean, is it like purely government, purely private, or somewhere in between? And with respect to work-life balance, I mean, what is the kind of workload? Is it, manageable, or it depends upon your project and your designation?
See, it's like this. I'll answer your second question first regarding work-life balance. In fact, the best place to be in as regards work-life balance is the Reserve Bank of India. There cannot be any other organization which provides this kind of work-life balance to an individual. Okay. You take any commercial bank or any financial institution, you will never get this particular work-life balance at all. Yes, as regards the work culture, you should understand that Reserve Bank of India is neither a neither a government company nor is it a private enterprise. It is a body corporate created by an act of the parliament. RBI is answerable only to the parliament. Okay, so you can't say that it is a sarkari type of work. It's definitely not.
Hmm.
It's sort of in between a private sector and a public sector enterprise. Okay. And as regards the workload, there is nothing which you cannot manage in RBI. It depends on your diligence and your ability to learn and your willingness to walk the last mile and look into details. That's how it does. RBI definitely encourages those people who have this willingness to learn and walk the last mile and learn. And if you are a learner and if you maintain a blemishless record, you can definitely scale massive heights in RBI as an employee.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. That's a great thing to know about RBI. Now, I'll touch upon different areas which mainly students are interested in, like now about the training that once one get in RBI during the initial days or maybe after that, posting departments, then maybe a little bit about salary, though I think it should not be the main concern. All these areas. So I'll start with posting, sir. You having worked in many cities,
Mhm.
I can say, over the duration of that 37 years.
Mm.
My first question, which might be a little bit uh, awkward, I would say, but not awkward. I mean, I as a person will feel nervous when I have to go for constant transfers. I mean,
Mhm.
7, 8 transfers every
Mm.
4, 5 years. So how is it like in RBI? Is the mind settled that okay, anyways the transfer has to come, or you face some difficulties when you get transferred from one place to another place?
See, let me tell you one thing. You don't have to be apprehensive at all as regards transfers are concerned in RBI. Point number A, RBI is only in state capitals. It is not in any rural area like a commercial bank, nor is it in a remote area. It's in prime capital city of the state. Okay.
Hmm.
Number two, there is always an element of certainty as regards RBI transfers are concerned. You get to stay in one center up to 5 years. If you are posted in Mumbai central office, you get to stay for 10 constant continuous years in Mumbai.
Hmm.
As regards this uncertainty or the fear or apprehension, you do not have because RBI takes care of moving you from place A to place B, absolutely taken care of, including you, your family, and your dependents, right?
So
So you don't
is
have to
there
be
any
apprehensive. In fact, you should look forward to transfers from RBI because it gives you a lot of exposure to different culture. Take my case, I have seen 12 transfers, I have seen 7 transfers in my career. I have stayed in 15 different houses. Okay.
uh,
So it is an enjoyable experience and you shouldn't take it negatively at all. There is definitely an element of certainty as regards transfers in RBI are concerned, unlike the government organization or the police or anywhere where it could be shifted at any point of time. It's not so. There is an element
answer
of certainty.
is it possible to get posting in the home state initially or later? And if yes, I mean, for how much time or how many years?
See, the answer is not initially.
Hmm.
It's a deliberate policy. RBI will definitely post you to different center. That is to make you a better person, make you a
Yes.
better individual to understand. Okay. Initially depends on where the vacancies are. Generally, the tendency is to post most of them into central office because that's the place where it can absorb the maximum number of people.
Hmm.
Generally, it is so. You will definitely get to work during your career in your hometown. Definitely, you'll get a chance to work in your home state once in your service. Definitely, that is there.
Hmm.
Otherwise, as I said, please do not be apprehensive at all about transfers in RBI. It is not like any other government organization, the police or the defense service, where you are liable to be transferred at any point of time because of exigencies. There is no such thing. It's all laid out, clear in a policy.
And sir, any chance to serve abroad during this term? I mean, in terms of posting, long term. I'm not talking about short term here. I mean, one,
No,
2 years.
no. If you recall, if you see that we do not have any branches abroad. We used to have once upon a time in Burma, Rangoon, and one in London. Now it's all
Hmm.
closed down. See, basically we are a central bank of the country, right? We are regulators, supervisors, monetary authority, etc. So there's no need for us to set up any office abroad. Yes, you will get to go on deputations. You could get to
Hmm.
go on deputations to Bank for International Settlements. You could get a deputation opportunity to go to World Bank and things like that. It could be short term or 1 year or 2 year assignments. So
Hmm.
we don't have any branch wherein you can get posted there. If you are good, if you are diligent in your work, and if you are picked up with the right skills, you could get a deputation into Bank for International Settlements, World Bank, etc., etc. There have been people, of course, in senior cadre who have gone and served for 1 or 2 years in these institutions.
Great, great. So I think it's a great honor to serve RBI first, and then if you get a chance to get posted in World Bank, I think that's a very good thing on our resume. So my next question is, I mean, you have worked across different sectors. I know there might not be anything called perfect center,
Hmm.
but is there any understanding in RBI? I mean, at the employee level, that this center is the best. I mean, universally, as we say, that everybody agrees that this center is the best. But I know it's very hard to compare centers, and if not, if there is nothing called universally best center at RBI, universally called best center at RBI, then what was your best center during your tenure that you enjoyed the most there?
Yeah, to answer this question, it depends on which part of the country you come from, right? So if you are from, let's say, Delhi or any part in northern India, you will say those centers are the best. You wouldn't want to go into Trivandrum to serve or Kochi
Yes.
or even Bangalore to serve. It all depends on individual. There's nothing like best center or poor center, etc. Every center, as I told you, it's all in the state capital, and you have the best of the accommodations available there. So I wouldn't say there is anything like best center, poor center. Well, coming to my personal choice, obviously, I being from Bangalore, I would say yes. I enjoyed working in Bangalore among my own people. That's how it is. It's nothing like,
Hmm.
post and, the commercial banks, they have this, there's a punishment posting, this kind of a
Uh-huh.
posting, etc. So there's no such thing in RBI. There's absolutely nothing like that. Every center is great.
Answer, is there any policy where person in some pain or in some need can get transferred to a particular location, say if somebody is single parent or somebody gets some injury. So I know there might not be any written policy, but are those cases considered?
Yeah, if you recall, my opening answer to the question of yours is that RBI is a very, very benevolent employer.
Hmm.
Yes, we do accommodate people with different abilities to see that they are not put to any discomfort. Yes, if you make a request and if there is a vacancy, yes, people with some disadvantages are accommodated to the center of your choice. Even in cases where there are no vacancies, RBI does go out of the way to accommodate that person so that he feels comfortable. That's how it is.
Fine, sir. So that's, I mean, that talks about why the attrition
Yeah.
rate is so low at RBI.
Mm, mm.
Okay, so that is about postings. I think I have asked most of the questions, so most of the queries that are in mind of the students would have got answered. So my next set of questions would be related to promotions. That is
Mm-hmm.
also something of a, I mean, a curiosity area for many of the students. Though I personally feel, which I guide them, that you should not be worried about that. If you go there, work hard, it itself will
Mm.
take care. So, what is the promotion policy, if at all it is there, sir?
Yeah, Anchit, promotion policy is definitely there. Being the premier institution and a regulator of the country, definitely we can't work without a promotion policy. We have a promotion policy. We do tweak it at occasionally or whenever the circumstances change to be in tune with times. That's how it is. See, as regards promotion, RBA once upon a time, used to recruit officers in grade A level. Okay, the
Hmm.
level in RBA runs as A, B, C, D, E, and F. F is the topmost, that is CGM, Chief General Manager. After that, it's Executive Director. And then we have the grades A, B, and C, and D, etc., etc. So there are multiple channels of recruitment. One is we call it as, the direct channel. People become clerical assistants first, and then they write an exam after 5 years or 6 years or so, and they get promoted as grade A officers, assistant managers, they are called. They are directly from the market. They are taken as grade B officers. The exam for which you are probably training
Yes.
people or whatever it is, they are grade B officers. Once a person joins as a grade B officer, he gets an opportunity to go into grade C after 7 years. 7 years. Earlier there was a fast track channel. Now it's not there. So they wait for 7 years and become grade C officers. Then once they become grade C officers, again an opportunity comes to become grade D within 3 years or 4 years, depending on the number of vacancies at that particular level. Once you become grade D officer, then again there's an interview process. You become grade E, and if that's how the whole channel goes. So a person joining as a grade B officer, let's say at the age of 21, if everything goes right, by 30, 35, you should be fairly in a senior management cadre of RBI. It's called a senior officer. Position from D grade onwards is senior officers in RBI.
Grade D onwards.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, if somebody, I mean, 21 is, I think, too early an age. People in India are not still aware about RBI as such a good career option that people jump onto this at the age of 21. But if
Mm-hmm.
somebody starts at 25,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I need two answers here. What is the average level he would reach if he would do an average work? Like, ठीक है, daily का daily काम किया,
See,
and he's not like over pushing himself or he's not over ambitious.
mm,
But on the other side, if somebody is really good, intelligent, and is ambitious,
mhm.
joins at the age of 25, what is the level he can reach? I know there would be a lot of factors, but still, what is the maximum level he
See,
or she should be able to reach?
if things are right, if he's got a blemish less record, he
Hmm.
can reach up to the level of CGM, or
CGM.
he can even try give it a shot for executive director positions. That
Hmm.
should be the level he can reach.
And EDs can be recruited from within the RBI.
Yeah, EDs are cadre driven. That is, people come from the cadre and become executive directors. Once the deputy governor becomes the government posting, they are posted and selected by the government of India.
Hmm.
And for the deputy governor positions also, there are two vacancies reserved for people coming from the cadre. Right now, we have three deputy governors who are from the cadre. Okay. Otherwise, it's a position decided by the government of India.
Okay.
Mm. Mm.
And sir, at what level of seniority? I mean, do you get any car or something, if at all?
Yeah, you do get from the level of general managers. You
Okay.
do get cars. If you complete 5 years as a general manager, a bank
Okay.
buys the car for you. Okay.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
you're chief general manager, bank buys the car for you again.
That's great, sir.
Mhm.
So that is about promotions, and I hope promotions, unless and until they are at very senior position like ED or something, where I think you would have to based out of Mumbai.
Mhm.
Other promotions are not like that. If you get promoted, you will be transferred. Otherwise, you will be here only. I mean, anyways, transfers
See,
are going to happen.
if you become a chief general manager, right,
Hmm.
you are the head of that region, right? The head of the center where you are posted. So
Hmm.
generally, in all bigger centers, like RBA structure is like this: the four metro centers, Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, and Chennai, are called as offices of RBI.
Hmm.
The rest of the places is called as the branches of RBI. Generally, in these four places, there are positions, two CGM positions available.
Hmm.
Two people can continue as CGM. One will be the senior most, will be uh, heading the office. The other one would be the number two man in that particular office.
Hmm.
Otherwise, there is only position for one CGM in one center.
Okay. One
Mm.
CGM in one center. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. So I'll take some queries. I think we are going at a good speed, sir. So I'll take some query from the students.
Mm-hmm.
This is related to departments, Mansi. I'll take it here. Astha is asking a query. Though I know the answer, but I'll ask from you, sir. I am a married female student, and hopefully she wants to say that her husband is working at some other location, not in RBI.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be any consideration in the transfer policy?
Provided there is an RBA there where your husband is working.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
basic condition.
Yeah, that's
So
the
Asta,
basic.
it might be considered, but as Sir has said, it all
Mm.
also depends on the business needs. But RBI being a very benevolent organization, if not immediately, you might get a chance in future. So once you get selected, there is always a chance.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll also take this question, sir. I mean, this is not related to my area, which I had
Mm.
marked, but somebody is asking that why the seats in the legal domain in RBI is limited. Obviously there would be less work, but can you explain that? I think the question from where it is coming is that when we compare it with the seats in SEBI legal
Mm-hmm.
domain, they are
Mm-hmm.
usually higher, though SEBI is a very small organization, just 1,000 employees,
Mm.
whereas in RBI we have 13, I think 12,000 to 13,000 employees, and still the seats in the legal are very less.
But I would like to ask the question, and what makes him think that the seats are less in the legal domain? We have an full-fledged legal department.
Okay.
Okay, with a lot of senior officers sitting. In fact, we should be having the biggest legal department because there are a lot of issues which are subject to legal interpretation, right?
Hmm.
People take the banks to court and people, file petitions in the court. We need people to argue for that. Okay, we have a big battalion of legal officers, and one legal officer is posted in each center of RBI. I think we
Hmm.
have about 29 officers right now, 28, if I'm right. So in each center, there is a legal officer.
Hmm.
Okay, this legal officer will take care of the official needs of RBI as well as the employee needs of RBI. See, there are disputes, a lot of disputes, which is not known to the
Hmm.
outside world. So we need a
Hmm.
legal team to handle it. Yes, we have a very big legal team. Plus,
Hmm.
we have we have the best advocate firms hired.
Hmm.
Uh, so. Definitely, it is not that there is a small legal team. It's a big, big legal team there.
Okay, fine. So I think sir has given the answer. You need to just look, uh, maybe research more about that.
Yeah.
And maybe in spite of having a big legal team, the vacancies in the past 1 year or 2 year has been less, but we can always hope for more vacancies in the
Yeah,
legal.
yeah, yeah. Recruitment, yes. Probably the people who are sitting there are young in age, not
Uh,
retired, and things like that. So vacancies won't have arisen. Otherwise, yes, we do have a big legal team.
Thanks. So the next area, sir, after postings and transfers, I would be moving on to is the salary. So first of all, now when it comes to salary, and now I know this is a very kind of a elaborated discussion which can happen. But sir, overall, my first question is not about what that salary is because it keeps on changing from your time to this time, 10 years later. But overall, when you're working in RBI, I mean, as the main earning member of your family, I mean, what is the mindset? Do we feel that yes, it's okay, we are satisfied and we are not worried about the usual expenses of the home and about say buying a house or buying a car some years later? Matlab, one is like you're struggling with your finances, one is like it's okay, you are enjoying your work, you are doing your expenses and you're saving also. So what kind of mindset is there?
Well, Anshit, let me answer this question. See, money, is something which man will never be satisfied with. Okay, so how
Yes.
much ever you give a salary, you would want more, right? So
Mhm.
that is the position. As regards RBI is concerned, you do not have any. The aspirants do not have any apprehension at all because we are A plus in salary categories as regards the banking industry is concerned. In
Mhm.
fact, we are far, far above the average salary that is available into the commercial banker. Okay, so we
Mhm.
call ourselves as A plus category. That's how the government has maintained it. So we have the. I mean, there's absolutely no need for a person to be worried about the salary at all. RBI takes care of through to several things are taken care of through what is called as perquisites. Okay,
Mhm.
so salary is not a question at all. So an average salary which a newcomer would join, newcomer joining in RBI as a grade B officer would be around 55,000 as a basic salary, and you would take home around 1,10,000, 1,15,000 per month. So that should be good enough a salary for a beginner just out of the college or whatever it is. Okay. So salary
And I
scales,
think over and
yes.
above also that there are a lot of perks.
Now got a lot of perquisites. I won't be naming there because this is going to be in public domain. A lot of perquisites which you would be surprised to get when you
Mhm.
join RBI.
Fine. And sir, let's not discuss about the perks here because as we don't want to put that in public domain here.
Yeah.
But uh, I mean, some facilities, not in terms of perks, but for your welfare, like canteen facilities, gym facilities. So, what are those facilities which RBI provides at its campus?
Yeah, and again, here again, you need not be apprehensive at all. We have got the state-of-art gym set up in each and every center, both in our
Mhm.
offices and in the residential quarters. You get to stay in on probably one of the prime localities in each center as regards RBI accommodations are concerned. RBI quarters will always be in prime locations. We just, I mean, whenever you happen to go, just look out for these RBI quarters. They'll all be in prime centers at prime centers. In
Mhm.
Anchit is from Chandigarh. We have quarters in Sector 16. You know
Mhm.
how Sector 16 is, right?
Posh,
We
the
have
most
quarters
posh
in
sector.
yeah, we have quarters in Sector 30. We got quarters in Sector 44, and each of the sectors have one or two gyms there for the people to exercise etc. before going to office or after coming back from office. And once you go to office, we have got a gymnasium in the office. Okay,
Mhm.
and we have the best possible canteen, food, cafeteria, right? We are called we call it as officers lounge.
Fine. I think there was some voice coming in, but
Yeah.
anyways,
So we have got what is called as an officers lounge where wholesome, sumptuous food is served.
in the
Okay.
office.
Yes, yes, in the office.
Okay.
Mm.
And sir, one more question. Which is in the mind of a lot of aspirants. I don't know from where this doubt is coming. People are thinking too far ahead. There is one HRA allowance kind of thing in
Mm-hmm.
RBI salary.
Mm-hmm.
We will not
Mm-hmm.
discuss about what is the amount. I think again it keeps on changing, but it's
Mm.
really good, students. Do not worry about that. You can always rent a good house in that amount. But my question is
Mm.
now many students actually ask,
Mm.
sir, should we opt for that HRA in our account? and go for rent somewhere, or should I take RBI provided societies or flats where I can live, and I have to then opt out of the HRA,
Mm.
which is a good option. I mean, now there might be some financial calculation behind that, a lot
Mm.
of thinking behind that when one decides on that. But overall, again, I mean, being working in RBI, you have seen what most of the people do. So, what is that?
No, so I would say, guys, don't opt for your, private accommodation just for a sake of few rupees in terms of HRA. Don't sacrifice this opportunity to stay in RBA colony. These are
Hmm.
one of the best colonies, okay, where you can get to see people as totally cosmopolitan outlook. See, your perspective in life also grows if you stay in RBA colony.
Hmm.
So I would suggest that you should, if you don't have your house, if you already have a house, then fine. But if you don't have an accommodation of your own, then you must and should experience the joys of staying in an RBA colony. Okay.
Hmm. So guys, opt for RBI provided
Mm.
accommodation. I think that is really good. A lot of facilities, as I came to know from one of my student, as sir said, gym facilities, sports facilities are also there, and you get every kind of help there, right? You never know when you are in pain, when you are in problems. So you would get every kind of help there, which might not be available in private accommodation, especially in big cities like Mumbai, Delhi. I mean, I've seen, I mean, people are very much work minded there, and there is very less bonhomie between even the neighbors. So I think go for it. You will grow as a person, as a human being if you live there. So my next question is with respect to LTA, leave travel allowance or LFC, what you call.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's a very good amount these days. I think it's 1 lakh plus per member.
Yeah.
So normally, do people go outside for vacations using that?
Yes, yes, very much. I have gone abroad so many times using that LTA facility, right? You can even go abroad using it. Of course, if you are willing to pay that kind of tax to the government,
Huh.
yes, you can go abroad. It's
But
quite,
we have the option to take it on our account also.
yeah, yeah. You can even opt for it and take the money in case you are not traveling in that particular cycle.
Hmm.
Or if you decide to travel, yes, you're welcome to travel.
Great, guys.
Yeah.
So what sir is telling is absolutely true. I mean, when I open my WhatsApp now, particularly in the month of June, July, or December, I mean, I have saved my students' number. Most of them are abroad. Like, so that's very true. I think they give you really good leave fare concession or LTA, whatever you say. So you would be able to enjoy your
Yes.
life because you have a very good work-life balance, and then you're getting that money also.
Mm.
So my next question is with respect to increments. Again, not in terms of amount, but uh, are the increments regular?
Yeah.
Is there a process defined? And uh, are they time based, performance based, or a mix of both?
See, as regards the increments are concerned, they are all fixed in the pay negotiations with you negotiate with your union, negotiates with the management. It's all fixed. Every year you get your increment. On the
Hmm.
date of you joining, the next year you'll get an increment. Okay, these increments are substantial. Substantial. You need not worry about it. Performance evaluation. RBI has not linked its pay to its performance as so far. Okay.
Hmm.
So there is no connection between you getting a pay increment as vis-a-vis your performance. You get your increment because it's a negotiated bipartite agreement between the RBI management and the employees. So it's got nothing to do with the performance.
Hmm.
Performance evaluation is used for different purposes. For example, your posting, deciding your posting, and your promotions, etc., are all dependent on your performance evaluation, not
Hmm.
the increments, annual increments. No.
Fine. So meanwhile, I would like to tell students in case, I mean, sir is already telling you a lot of information. If you want that documented, I mean, about the RBI Grade B exam pattern or something like that. So we have this guidebook. I'll just, maybe you're not able to see it. This is a guidebook, comprehensive guide to RBI manager, which is everything about RBI Grade B exam preparation, your previous year questions, your detailed syllabus, and your uh, detailed book list and resources, which you can do even with self preparation. So you can download this. The download link is given in the chat window. If you're watching this on Zoom, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can download by going into the description of that video, and you can always download it. So let me continue with the set of questions. So I think I'm done with the salary, sir, and I think the crux is that, I mean, irrespective of worrying about what you get, what in hand you get, how much taxes you pay, what sir has said is that I mean, you will not have to worry about your salary. You and your family would be able to lead a very good life. You get a lot of perks. There are a lot of facilities in terms of canteen and gym, foreign trips, increments are regular, and I mean, they are already paying you well, so don't worry about that. And that's why you are so eager to join that organization. That is one of the main reason. But you also inculcate to you need to inculcate a bigger reason that why do you want to work in RBI? It cannot be just for the salary. That is my advice. Next area, sir, I want to discuss with you is training. So I don't know how it happened in your time, but you can always tell about that also. And what happened these days. So, what is about the initial training days? First, how did it happen in your days when you joined way back? The initial training.
See, the not much has changed as regards training is concerned. Only the methodology and the course content must have changed over a period of time.
Hmm.
So, a person newly recruited Grade B officer is straight away sent to the Reserve Bank Staff College at Chennai. Okay,
Hmm.
that's where all the RBI officers have to necessarily pass through when
Hmm.
they join RBI. So, they are people are sent there in batches. It's called the induction training. Okay,
Hmm.
so they're inducted into RBI, and they are taught the RBI values, culture, and what RBI does, all the functions and working of RBI. So they equip yourself, they equip the candidate, the person joining, sufficiently to start working the day he gets posted to a regular center. That's how it is. So this is called as the Reserve Bank Staff College, Chennai. Those of you who are familiar with Chennai, it's in a very prime location, and it's a
Hmm.
residential college with all modern amenities and all that.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
faculty again comes from RBI, within RBI. So once you pass through that induction, there will be several upteen number of trainings in RBI. There will be training on IT, there will be training on banking supervision, there will be training on banking regulation, there will be training on currency management. You name it, all possible trainings are given to RBI
Hmm.
officers. Okay, and you get to go to external institution also. You get to go. You tend to. I mean, you get to get an opportunity to go abroad also for training. Okay,
Hmm.
people are sent abroad also for specific training. You're sent to on deputation to the government of India to train
Later
yourself
in the
in.
career.
Yes, later in the career it happens.
Hmm.
So there are plenty of trainings. The only thing is you should have the aptitude to absorb all this training and make the best use of it. Okay. So we have a college in Chennai. We have a college in Pune where I was a faculty.
Hmm.
Okay. This college basically caters to the outside world, and a few of the RBI participants also get to go to that college.
Hmm.
And we have what is called as the Bankers Academy, that is the RBI Academy, which gives you specific trainings. There is something called as the Center for Advanced Financial Learning, CAFERAL, we call it as. So we have
Hmm.
plenty of institutions, and we depute people also to other institutions. And you won't believe it, I have undergone maximum number of trainings in RBI. I have lost count of them, number of times I've been for training. And many of you will be struck in disbelief. I would say if I say that I was even sent to RAW, Research and Analysis Wing, for a 2 week training. Okay,
Wow.
on about money laundering, to know about money laundering, counterfeiting, etc., to learn about that. So training opportunities are plenty in RBI. Only thing you should take it up in right earnest and make the best use of those training facilities. Mm.
So, I mean, what I get from your answer is, sir, that with changing times, the technology changes,
Yeah,
the needs of the business changes, RBI makes sure that
mm.
their employees are up to the mark
Up
in
to
terms
date.
of knowledge and
Absolutely,
technology.
absolutely, yes.
Hmm.
Mm.
That's a very good thing, guys. I mean, what I've seen in the private sector, I mean, now I see most of my friends are worried about their jobs because what
Mm.
they started learning in 2005, 6, when they passed out, it's now completely obsolete in 2023. So it's
Absolutely.
very important that you keep on learning, and here RBI will make sure that, I mean, even if you do not want to, you're pushed into that. They will,
Mm.
I mean, make you
Yeah.
constantly reinvent yourself.
Yes.
And sir, during the initial training at the Reserve Bank Staff College, after
Mm.
getting selected, does one gets to meet governor also? Do governor come? Does governor comes to greet the students or address the students during that initial training?
I wouldn't say the governor comes in case he has any engagement in that city of Chennai for any official purpose. Yes, he would definitely drop in to say hello to all the students and say just wish them luck. But definitely during the course of this training goes on for about 3 weeks, if I remember right.
Hmm.
Definitely you will definitely have one deputy governor or one or two executive directors visiting you and addressing you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And sir, are the trainers which who take these sessions are mostly internal or external to RBI?
No, we have in our colleges, all our people are internal faculty. We are selected through a rigorous selection process, interview and selection process. And
Hmm.
once we are selected, we are trained again to be faculty members. Okay. We are given training to be a faculty member. Okay. So that's how it is.
And during your time, was there any kind of evaluation process based on which you were allotted departments, like the topper of the training program will go to the best department?
No, not really. Not really. It depends on the aptitude, right? There is a exit test which is conducted at these training institutions. Based on that, some parameters are picked up, and people very sharp with mathematical skills, etc., are sent to be dealers in the dealing room of RBI. People with very good
Hmm.
analytical skills are maybe sent to a department of regulation, supervision, etc., etc. So generally, yes, we take care depending on the qualification of the person also. If a person is a chartered accountant, is joined RBA, definitely you'll go to Department of Government and Bank Accounts where he can add value
Hmm.
as a chartered accountant. If a person is an engineer by profession, he is definitely sent into a department which would be most suitable to him, analytics, things like that. Okay. So definitely, yes, it is considered.
And sir, my last question on training is that, I mean, I've seen a lot of blogs and a lot of instances where students have told me that
Mm,
training was one of the best time in RBI during their entire tenure of 6 to 7 years,
mm.
and they enjoyed it very much. So, what is that? No, one thing or three things or five things which makes training immemorable.
Yeah, especially when you join as an RBI officer, you are young, maybe at 22, 23, or 24. So those are the best times in your life to enjoy training because you get to see people from across the country, right? People with different cultural backgrounds, people with different language skills, right? So you all are in one particular place for about 3 weeks in one particular campus. So definitely it's a enjoyable thing. So it's not all work. There's a lot of when you they take you out, for fun events, etc., outside the city of Chennai, and this kind of game. There are fun games also to keep you entertained. There are weekly programs. Every Sunday or Saturday evening, we have a cultural program running in the staff college. So these things make the training pretty enjoyable.
So, as sir said, there are a lot of activities, I think, and you make friends for life. You
Yes,
actually make network for
absolutely,
your life.
absolutely. Yeah,
But you have to first clear the exam to get all this in
yeah.
your life.
Hmm.
So, I'll take few questions and then I'll move on to the departments. Probably the last area where I want to discuss questions. In the chat window, I can see somebody is pursuing MBA in the first year. So, if he gets selected in RBI, say
Hmm.
in July or August next year or September next year when the result is out, he is asking, will I get a chance to complete my MBA? I think he will have to report to RBI, right?
No, he has to report to RBI. Okay, RBI. He has to report to RBI. Many people do. Many people, what they do is they join RBI. They continue to write civil services exam.
Hmm.
So the only way a person quits RBI is that if he gets a civil service posting. If he passes the civil service exam and gets a civil service posting, he
Hmm.
quits RBI. Otherwise, I don't find people, quitting RBI to go to any other institution. And as regards the person who asked about MBA, I'm afraid that you have to join RBI. You can't pursue a full-time MBA course while you are an RBI employee. No. Maybe you could convert it into a evening course or something like that to complete the course.
And sir, I think that's a good question to ask, which one student, Dishant, has asked. What is the criteria for Golden Jubilee Scholarship? So, in case here attendees do not know, Golden Jubilee Scholarship is a scholarship program by RBI where they actually sponsor you for further education. And maybe I'll ask sir for more details about this. What is it and how difficult it is to get there, and what is the criteria for this? I mean, just in brief.
Yeah, see, this particular Golden GB scholarship is available for Grade B officers and above. Okay, every
Hmm.
year there is a limited number of quota, maybe 10 persons, I think, that max cert
Hmm.
is there, and there's a rigorous process, the rigorous interview process.
Hmm.
Plus, your wholesale performance evaluation also matters. You should have performed outstandingly as an employee,
Hmm.
and then you are given a chance for come within that qualification zone, and then a rigorous interview is conducted wherein the one of the deputy governor himself sits in the interview, if I remember right, and that's how you're picked. That's how you're picked. So you need to be extraordinarily diligent in your work, and you need to be extraordinarily good in your work, and with good sufficient background education, then you get to go on this Golden Jubilee scholarship. And once you go on Golden Jubilee Scholarship, so once you come back to India after that, pursuing that, you need to serve compulsorily in RBI for at least 2 years.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you need to return the entire expense which RBI bore on your behalf to send you abroad
Yeah,
for
and
this
that's
course.
that's a huge amount. What I know a little bit
Yes,
about that.
yes,
That's right.
definitely.
In
Yes,
today's
yes.
time, it's around 70-80 lakhs, so around one
Yeah.
lakh dollars. So
Yes.
that's a huge amount,
Mm,
and I
mm,
think you have to abide by the bond if you take so much money from
mm,
RBI.
mm-hmm,
So my next question is very much relevant. I think I should have asked this question. Now, many people who are preparing for RBI, they are not from finance background
mm,
or economics or commerce background.
mm-hmm,
So at the back of their mind, they have two questions. One is that, can I get selected? Because there would be a lot of people from these streams who might be competing. And the
mm-hmm.
another question is that even if I get selected, would there be I mean, enough training or enough capability in me to cope up with the work that I would be doing there?
Yeah. So absolutely, I think there's some disturbance, Anshit. Somebody by name Abhinav is trying to,
Just 1 minute.
yeah, yeah. Now it's clear.
I'll just mute everyone and I'll unmute you. Just
Yeah,
1 minute, sir. I'll just unmute you. I
yeah.
don't.
I'm unmuted. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anybody hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Coming to your question, it was about.
Sir, my question was that a person from non-economics or
Yeah.
non-finance
Okay.
background has a fear that, will I be able to get
Mm.
selected, and if get selected, will I be able to cope up with the work that I would be doing there?
No, absolutely. You need not have any fear at all about this particular thing. And that's the beauty of RBI. We have generalists, okay? We have people even from home sciences, okay?
Hmm.
Background of home science. We have people, we have engineers, we have doctors, we have lawyers, okay? Who all have joined RBI for various reasons. So there's absolutely no need for any apprehension. You'll be trained sufficiently in the field in which you're going to work. So you don't have to worry because you don't have a background in commerce and finance and things like that. No, absolutely none at all. We have a lot of engineers in RBA for information. Okay, so they're all doing pretty well. They're doing very, very well. So that is because thanks to the training system of RBI and the mentoring system of RBI.
Hmm.
Okay, so you don't have to have any apprehension that you are a non-commerce student or a non-finance man and how would you cope up with the no, not at all,
Hmm.
not at all.
And sir, on the similar set of apprehensions or objections, there are some other questions also. Being a fresher, I mean, if I'm 21, just
Mm-hmm.
passed out, or I do not have any work experience, I'm 22. When I go for the interview,
Mm.
would interview panel consider me as somebody who is mature enough for RBI? I mean, obviously based on, or they would prefer somebody mature directly, say who is 25 or 26 years old.
Mm. No, not at all.
Hmm.
Unless, of course, you behave very in an eccentric manner, you're definitely not considered as immature. You will be selected. I have colleagues who joined with me at the age of 21.
Hmm.
Some of them are chief general managers, some of them executive directors today. People who
Hmm.
joined very, very early. So there is no such thing. It all depends on how you face the interview, how you are confident, how you are confident in putting across your views to the interview panel. That's what matters. And then, of course, your scoring in the examination which you write. If you have
Yes, yes.
scored good marks and if you put across and come across as a very confident person, there is
Hmm.
no bar in selecting you. Age is definitely not a criteria.
And sir, on the same thing going ahead, there is one more apprehension among the students, because many students, they have been preparing for UPSC or other exam and they're not able to make the cut, and they're already 26, 27 years of age. So that
Mm-hmm.
gap years,
Mm-hmm.
say 21 to 26 or 28, 7, 8 years, I know that looks bad on your resume, but I hope there would still be enough chance for somebody who works hard and can prove that he has not wasted or invested his he has not wasted, rather invested his time in something. I think he would be given a fair chance to get selected by the interview panel.
Yeah, see this. I conduct a lot of mock interviews for these RBI grade exams as a panelist, and definitely yes, I do look at the gap in the resume as what were you doing. But if you're able to
Hmm.
convince me that you're doing something very useful and not
Hmm.
whiling away your time, I don't have
Hmm.
any problem at all. That's how the RBI Services Board also looks at it. If you're able to convince those people that I was doing something fruitful, you are pursuing your dream,
Hmm.
and dreams do not come true for everyone. So you can always
Hmm.
say that yes, this didn't happen to me, so I am joining RBI. That's it. That's not a problem at all. It's not a problem at
That's
all.
perfectly put up, sir. I totally agree with. I mean, it's all about dreams.
Mm,
If it
yeah.
comes from inside you when you are speaking, I think you will be able to convince that. And
Yes.
if you know inside that you have just wasted your time, you are not doing anything,
Mm,
then I think that will look upon your
absolutely.
face that you are just
Yeah.
lying.
Yes.
So my next set of questions is about the departments, the areas one gets to work in RBI. So first, rather than going to what are the different departments and all, I'll just ask one question, sir. How possible it is to get department of one's choice? I mean, is there any option uh, when you finish your training that okay, I want to go to these three departments, that is my choice? Is there any process like that?
No, there is no such thing because see, an RBI officer, Grade B officer, see, there are two things here. RBI Grade B officer, the moment he is selected, invariably RBI tries to make him, a well-rounded personality.
Hmm.
Okay, the best place to become a well-rounded personality and to learn the real art of managing people is the issue department of RBI, what we call it as the issue department, where the currency is managed from, where
Hmm.
the notes are issued out to the public, where you are made responsible for holding cash. Huge.
Hmm.
If you see the RBI awards, are huge. So you'll be
Hmm.
given responsibility of holding as a joint custodian of their
Hmm.
entire cash, both soiled as well as fresh notes. This
Hmm.
is where the RBI gets people to make their ropes. What do you call as the in the common what do you call language is making your ropes there. So that's where you're trained. You become a hard personality because
Hmm.
you are managing people, uneducated people there. Because the people who carry these boxes of notes and currency notes are all people who are not very sophisticated or educated. You get to manage them in life. Okay. So you definitely become a very strong personality. Then you're posted to what is called the banking department, where the fear of numbers is removed from you. You can see 1,000 crores, 1,500 crores, what do you call 25,000 crores, 30,000 crores. These kind of figures you get to see. And you sign vouchers to that extent in the banking department of RBI. So that's how it is. RBI, phases out the posting of the people also. They are not given something called as a very comfortable posting in the initial stage. You rough it out, then later on you become an expert and you get the department of your choice.
And I think, anyways, you're not even constrained to one department.
Yeah.
As I know, there are interdepartmental transfers. So,
Yes.
any policy regarding that and any
Yes, once,
process regarding that?
yeah, in the regional office of RBI, once in 5 years, once in 3 years, a person gets to move from one department to another. Okay. In
Hmm.
the central office of RBI, you tend to stay for a longer period of time. Minimum of 7 to 8 years, you continue in one department because you need to get that kind of expertise. Okay. You can't be a floating stock over there.
Hmm.
In regional office, yes, because the office is small and there are a lot of departments. There is a constant rotation of people. Every 2 years, you get to work in a different department. Okay. So that way you get exposure to all the areas of RBI. Okay.
I think that is even necessary. If you want to grow to the senior level, you should have idea
Yes.
about what happens
Yes.
in
What
most of
happens
the
in
departments.
other places? Yes. Yes.
And my next question with respect to departments is, sir, also, I mean, bit childish, but many students ask this. Again, I mean, is there any best set of 3 to 4 departments where you get to learn the maximum, or that work is valued in the private sector if you want to move later to the private sector?
Yeah. See, there are certain specialized functions which only an RBI officer will be exposed to. For example, banking supervision, right?
Hmm.
Banking regulation. You get to make the rules for the entire banking industry.
Hmm.
So the banking regulation department and the banking supervision department. Then you have this foreign exchange management. You get the expertise which you never get anywhere else because you
Hmm.
get to see the entire foreign currency being managed there.
Hmm.
That would be the department. So if you ask me personally, I am basically a hardcore supervisor. So banking supervision and regulation are my favorite departments. Then you have the foreign exchange management, depending on your aptitude. Then you also have the foreign markets division, okay, which
Hmm.
operates the what do you call the money market as well as the forex market in the country. You get to become a chief dealer, for which you need to take a specialized examination. You get expertise in dealing activities also, forex dealing, I mean. Okay,
And maybe
so
payment and settlement system these days
yeah,
might be
payment and
on.
settlement system. Yes, payment settlement system. You get to design products
Hmm.
for quick money remittances, transfers, etc., etc. That's another great division to work with. Then, of course, you have the public debt, where RBI manages the public debt on behalf of the government of India. That's again a great department to work with. See, every department in RBI, I would say, is great because the function we do is a unique set of functions which No other central bank in the world does. Okay, that's why we are called as a full service central bank, which many central banks across the world are not. They do certain specific functions, but we do everything. So there's no dearth of departments in RBI. If you're willing to learn, yes, every department is great.
And there is one more, I think that's a universal question that you will find everywhere on the internet. So maybe if you know about it, you can answer it, sir. IAS or RBI Grade B, which one is better? I know it depends on personal preferences, but if you have somebody to compare with your life and maybe a friend in IAS, what you would say?
Yeah, I would definitely opt for an RBI job. Okay, I will definitely opt for an RBI job because you are free, you're respected. Not that an IFS officer is not respected, because there are certain compulsions in the government. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, but yes, I would place a RBI job at par with an IAS position. But depends on individual preference. If a person wants power,
Hmm.
or if a person is very conscious of doing something to the society
Hmm.
in a different field, yes, IAS officer's position is there.
Hmm.
But generally, I would place it at par. RBI officer's grade B position and an IAS officer's position. Okay.
That is a true RBI officer speaking. I mean,
Yeah.
that is the love you do with your organization. If you really have been working consciously for 37 years, I mean, it's like you love your children the most. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's like your children to you. So next question is also something, I mean, insightful to me when I read this. Sir, any moments in one's career where they have to take some tough decisions or crucial? Obviously, crucial would be many, but are there moments when it's like ethics versus emotions? You have to take your decisions while working at RBI.
Yeah. That particular kind of situation generally arises only when you are working in banking supervision. Yeah.
Mm,
You need to be hard, okay, because you go and inspect a bank, you develop some kind of a relationship. But
mm,
at the end of the conclusion of the inspection, you have to call a spade a spade. You can't, because that person is very friendly to you.
mm,
You cannot, overlook or gloss over certain discrepancies that's happening in that organization. Yes.
mm,
So that decision, yes, you need to take when you are, especially in a banking supervision department. Of course, there is a monetary policy department. Of course, it's a big man's game. That is the governor takes those kind of decisions.
mm.
Otherwise, yes, this crucial decision, ethics versus this thing, generally is faced in a department of banking supervision. Mm.
Fine, sir. Now, students, there are some very, I would say, very simple questions which most of you know the answer. Somebody is asking, "I have a tattoo. Would that be a problem?" I don't know whether that be a problem or not, but I mean, what's the problem in removing the tattoo while you go for the interview and doesn't look professional? So I'll take only the important ones, guys, right, which
Mm.
actually impacts most of the people. And most of the questions have been answered where we can reach if we join RBI at the age of 25, 26. You might have
Mm.
joined late. We've already discussed
Mm.
this.
Somebody asked about the sports culture in RBI. We have an excellent sports culture.
Hmm.
If those of you who follow cricket, Ishan Kishan, KL Rahul, Aniket Rajput,
Hmm.
all are RBI employees. All of them are RBI employees. And RBI got an award for encouraging sports, got the President's Award.
Hmm.
I don't know what the name it was called, but we got the President's Award for being the best employer as regards sportsmen are concerned. We used
But
to
sir,
have the best possible hockey team once upon a time. Of
but
course, we do still play
do
decent
normally
hockey.
people use those facilities? Do normally people use those facilities? Because I've worked in many IT organizations. They have very good infrastructure, but when you go to the gym, out of
Hmm.
7,000 people working there, you will hardly find 7, 8 people doing that gym.
In
So,
RBI,
what about
yeah,
the culture?
RBI, yes, the fitness culture has set in now. Gyms are
Hmm.
all pretty crowded in RBI now. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. And this is also a very good question, sir, by Shabnam. Now you take mock interview, sir, and you have good working experience in RBI. You know what it takes to serve in RBI for 37 years. So when you look at the aspirant, what
Mm.
are the 3 or 4 topmost qualities that you will look for that
Mm.
this person can be right fit in RBI based on these
See,
qualities?
I look for honesty, upright, straightforward answers, honesty of that person, and
Hmm.
his ability to express himself,
Hmm.
abilities to express himself, and his willingness to work
Hmm.
hard. Willingness to work hard. These are the three things I look for.
Hmm.
Qualifications, okay, the number of degrees he's got, these are all secondary to me.
Hmm.
Straightforward, I look for an honest answer from him. Ability to carry himself and express himself. Communication, because communication is very, very important in RBI because you are going to face the external world. You're going to be the ambassador for the regulator. So the ability to communicate effectively, and honesty, and the willingness to work hard. Because as you grow up in the organization, you need to put in number of hours to learn the fine skills, because supervision is something which is not a child's play, because you are interacting with hardcore bankers, commercial bankers. You need to be one up above them. Okay, so I look for those kind of willingness to work hard.
But I think, sir, in terms of respect, one is like normal respect, what we get as RBI officers. I mean, you're working in the central bank, but audit officers would get some special kind of request when they go to the banks, right? I mean, because you are the big boss there when you're going for inspections.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. There's a lot of respect. When an RBI inspector comes, there are people who stand up and to receive you, right? So
Hmm.
that's how it is. The very fact that the RBI ID is hanging around your neck,
Hmm.
it carries a lot of pride in that, and a lot of gates will open for you in any financial sector. Moment you say that you represent Reserve Bank of India, that's the kind of respect this institution commands.
Hmm. So, sir, I think that's it. I've asked most of the questions. I think lastly, I would like to ask you, sir, we have discussed about work-life balance, but what's about the fun element? I mean, is working in office like totally focused on work, or I mean, do people laugh? And are there any parties? Are there any outings at RBI where people can now interact informally, not just formally?
Yeah, there's a lot of such avenues. We celebrate birthdays of people. There's a lot
Hmm.
of cake cutting and bonhomie going on there. We celebrate festivals. Every festival is celebrated in a small way.
Hmm.
And there are tea breaks where we have tea corners where people assemble and chit chat for a cup of tea. Oh yeah, these things are there, and there are birthday greetings by the regional director, the head of the institution. He
Hmm.
calls you personally for a cup of tea with him, and then he hands you over a beautiful birthday card. And
Wow.
then there are occasions, annual days are celebrated
Hmm.
in every regional office of RBI,
Hmm.
where there are competitions between colonies of RBI, the cultural events, the sports events, etc., etc. So yeah, a lot of opportunities to interact in an informal way in RBI.
Sir, I'll just take your last message before we close this session. Before that, I would once again like to tell all my students here that in case you want to know about RBI examination process, right, you can always download this guidebook. The link to download is in the chat window. This is a comprehensive guide. It will tell you everything about not only about RBI but the selection process. You will get free previous year questions. You will get uh, detailed syllabus and book list and resources to prepare for RBI. And you will get this session on YouTube also. Don't worry about that in case you have joined late. I can see we are almost like 250 plus now. And sir, first of all, thanks for such an insightful information. That was really a good session. Uh, any last message, sir, you would like to give to the aspirant? I mean, as an RBI aspirant, you might have some thought process in your mind. Now, what should be that thought process in somebody's mind who is targeting this job? But we all know it's tough. I mean, it can be really tough to crack this.
Yeah. Yeah, before I answer this question, I saw one particular interesting question. Somebody asked, why did you join RBI? Somebody asked me as to why I joined RBI. Well, guys, I had no choice. In 1982, I joined RBI in 1982. And those days, employment opportunities very far and few. Okay. So this came my way, so I took it. And from there, I never looked back. Okay. That's how it is. So that's the reason why I joined RBI. Of course, now you have a lot of other openings. But I would still say being an RBI officer gives you a lot of pride and a lot of exposure, and you get to learn a lot of things in life. So, as regard to the other question of yours, I mean, I would say yes, guys, you must give it a shot. Okay, as long as you have age on your side, and if you are employed in the private sector, whatever it is, I would still say that you do try, because you are going to be the regulator, full service. You're going to be working for the full service regulator of the country, and an institution which is known for ethics, which is known for its values, and which is known for its knowledge. We call ourselves a knowledge organization. RBI calls itself as a knowledge organization. A lot of opportunities coming away to learn, and also to hold your head high in the society. Okay, this is one employment, which comes easily to you, in the sense, when I say easily, you have to write an exam which is very transparent and fair.
Hmm.
I mean, you are selected based on the number of marks you score. And again, in the interview, the way you perform. There's no bias here, right? The way you perform and the way you carry yourself, the way you express yourself, you get in. That's it. And once you get in, and if you're diligent enough, you can reach the sky in RBI. You can go right up to the deputy governor level if things work your way, and if your age is on your side, you can even give it a shot to become the deputy governor. So I don't see any reason as to why you should not be giving it a serious try. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for the last comments. And I must say, sir, the interaction was really, really good. Your answers were brief, pointed, and most of the times insightful. And I took most of the questions from students. I'm really sorry if I could not take even more questions due to paucity of time. We were supposed to finish this session at 6, and it's already 3 minutes past 6. And this session would be uploaded on YouTube. And I thank you once again, sir. I'm sure there would be a lot of more sessions like this that we would be doing
Yeah.
with our students. And
Mm.
thank you, sir, for bringing such a huge value here. And a
Yeah.
lot of aspirants have got benefited today.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Bye.